Welcome, welcome. The first video of this season for X's and Stevos. I am Stevo. I am joined of the absolute fortune to be joined by the co-host, ROB Style. How you doing today, brother?
Pretty good. Can't complain. The week's been good, so we're rolling.
You know what? When you're ROB Style, a lot of the weeks get to be good, but that's not by any mistake. That's all hard work. Speaking of hard work, we're going to talk some football today. So, for me, as a Philadelphia native Kansas City Chiefs fan, we're going to talk about some subjects that hurt in certain spots, like the Philadelphia Eagles and the BTA that they unfortunately placed on my squad has me a little bit biased. You know, if you ever get beat up by someone as a kid, you're like, "Yo, so and so tough. He's like the toughest guy in school." We got beat up, so we were talking about one of the bullies in the league, the Philadelphia Eagles. First, we'll talk about their matchup with the Cowboys. Among some other things, we appreciate you watching. It's funny, a lot of folks style are like, "Yo, that's so cool, you and Robert doing that," and then I'm like, "Yo, what do you think?" And almost every single one of them are like, "Oh, I actually haven't watched yet." I'm like, I'm like, come on, man. All right. Well, we appreciate the initial support. This one you'll have to watch. Okay. Eagles, Cowboys, Thursday night football. It's in the city of brotherly love, home for me. The Eagles are going to be celebrating, raising yet another banner after their decisive and dominant victory over the Kansas City Chiefs, but also fresh off an NFC Championship win that was comfortable over the Commanders. So I feel like me and Commanders folks are like, yeah, the Eagles, man, they're so good. They're playing the Cowboys. Cowboys have been in news a little bit lately, RB style. They traded Parsons, Pennsylvania native Parsons, to the Green Bay Packers. That'll be something. What are your thoughts on that? I know we didn't talk about it, but I'm curious. What are your thoughts on the Parsons deal?
Yeah, I mean, they have not been good to me on defense, even with him. So I'm like, I mean, if it's gonna make room for cap space, getting somebody else in there, like go ahead and do it. I do think he will eat them alive when they do play each other because he is a dude. But hey, business is business at the end of the day. I wish him the best, but he's gonna eat in Green Bay, 100%.
Agree. I think that's really like just rational based, like in reality take. I see you I'm on Twitter a lot, X, excuse me, and there's just this big emotional response, like, what are the Cowboys doing? And I'm like, folks, he didn't want to play there. You know, he's in a preseason game laying on the table. He's eating nachos on the way in, like he's vibing. He is out of there. They showed a video of him reacting to the news of the trade being official. His entire house is packed up. His couch got plastic wrap on it. Like his pool's drained. He's ready to rock. So I agree with you. It's a good point about Dallas's defense, which we'll talk about in a second. Perfect segue. It's not like the results were there. You know, you're not similar. I know this is being compared to Khalil Mack trade, excuse me, from before, and it's a similar feeling. Like, well, what were they with him? You know, it wasn't like their AFC, NFC championship games. So we'll see. Good call. Good call. Eagles, Cowboys, division rivalry. We'll talk about a couple division rivalries before we get to ROB Styles, Baltimore Ravens, and his second favorite team, the Buffalo Bills. All right, so last year was tough to swallow for Dallas. Tough year overall. In both of these matchups, they did not have Dak Prescott. It was a combination of Lance and I want to say Cooper Rush. Both games went as you would expect, knowing that. The Eagles won both matchups 41-7 and 34-6. I'll say this, a lot of folks make a big deal about what Philadelphia has maybe lost on the defensive side. It is not how I see it. I think they were one of their greatness, despite the big names like Barkley, like AJ Brown, like Jalen Hurts, legacy is ascending for sure. The beauty in the Eagles roster last year was their depth. So certainly they lost some of maybe the first and second lines of their depth chart. Some of the older guys got paid, some of the second or third contract guys got paid, but they have drafted and built that side of the ball on defense so well that style it's hard to feel like they lost a whole lot. And I think we'll see some of that in play in just a couple of days here Thursday night. So my prediction, RB style, I'm gonna spend this whole time doing all the dang talking. That's my bad. I got the Birds winning 31-20. Um, I feel like some folks will hear 20 by Dallas. I feel like that's a lot. Truth is, I think Dak Prescott healthy, CeeDee Lamb, George Pickens, I think they're going to test the Eagles' young secondary. Again, I think the talent is there, but yeah, they lost some experience for sure on the defensive side of the ball. And I think the Cowboys will be able to score a little bit. But overall, I think we one of those deals where the scores may be closer than what the game actually is. And
Mhm.
how many times did we watch the Eagles last year? Certainly not in the Super Bowl, but before the Super Bowl, we watched the Eagles in a close game or maybe even losing late, and then Saquon Barkley rips off that 50, 60, 70 yarder. So I see something similar. I have 31-20 with the Eagles kind of leading the way most of the game. How do you feel, brother?
Man, that's funny. That's was probably my exact score prediction.
Hey, there it is.
Couple that, I think the Eagles' offensive line is pretty sound. Anytime you can be a top, rushing team, like it takes a lot of the pressure off Jalen. They still have AJ Brown. They still have Smith. So they still have a lot of weapons, but they do a really good job of controlling the line. Do I think Saquon will have the same season he had last year? Probably not. Like it's not going to happen. But he's still a heck of a player that's gonna eat at the end of the day. So I haven't seen anything from the Cowboys that make me think differently that they can stop anybody. And until they prove it, to me, this is the NFL version of the USC Trojans. You're overhyped every single year and you never deliver. So nah, they'll comfortably take an L.
I think that's a really good point to bring up the Eagles' skill position on offense. I know they're dealing with some like nagging injuries. I only know this through checking fantasy. I know AJ Brown hasn't, maybe this is different as of the time of this video, but he hasn't practiced much. I know even Devontae Smith's dealing with some stuff. They're replacing Mekhi Becton up front internally with a draft pick that they like. I think Steen.
Mhm.
Like you said, the offensive line development's been crazy. The Eagles' line of scrimmage. Um, on both sides of the ball is elite. Hence their being elite. And Saquon, I agree. And I actually think, Style, to your point, like Saquon's not going to have the same season. And I almost think that'll be intentional because I think they're at a point where they're going to be so good and their operation is so on point that they're going to start to win games kind of ugly. They did it a good bit last year already. They really exploded at the end of the season. Like, whereas I'm a Chiefs fan and I'm giving them their flowers, before the funeral because they're still here and will be good. I think the Rams and the Packers fans are going to be like, yo, hold on. Like, we don't feel the exact same. And the Buccaneers fans for that matter, but that's a different point. So, some teams have had some success, excuse me, against Philly. So we'll see. That's a good point. I think it'll be a comfortable. The Eagles are ahead probably the entire game. I think Dallas will do enough. Like my final score projection is 31-20. I wouldn't be surprised if it's 24-20. I wouldn't be surprised if it's 20-17 at some point in Dallas. But I think the Eagles have earned that benefit of the doubt to come out on top to score a good bit. And I think by the end it'll be a two-score game as they celebrate in good old Philadelphia. But anything else, brother? What else do you see in this matchup?
I don't think I can say I'll be curious. You know how Dallas looks overall. Historically have been a really good regular season team, like one of the best over the last some odd years since Dak pretty much been there. But I don't see it look rough last year. I know a lot of it was minus Dak, but I mean aggressively average at best.
As you can see, R&B style, huge, huge fan of the Dallas Cowboys for sure, among some other teams in
Hmm.
future conversations. Okay, so it looks like X's and Stevo's is firmly on the side of the Philadelphia Eagles, as I imagine most of the country will be in terms of just straight up prediction, removing emotion. I think the Eagles are in for a long, good season. People
Yeah.
say long season. It's going to be a long season for Philly because it might go till dang February again. Dallas, I think, is in for the other kind of long season to your point, Style. Like we'll see. Sometimes these trades with this one elite player it kind of enables a few other guys who maybe felt like they didn't have that chance. We'll see. I wouldn't be ecstatic if I was the Cowboys defensive coordinator, but it certainly feels like there isn't that one guy that we feel like we have to scheme around. Now it's a complete unit effort, and we'll see if that has any success. Neither of us think it will have too much success on Thursday night as the Eagles are predicted to beat the Cowboys in our humble opinion. Thanks for
Yeah.
joining us, folks. We got a whole lot more. Oh, I'm sorry, Sal. What's up?
Oh, that was it. I had nothing. You're rolling.
Cool, cool. Appreciate it, y'all. Stay tuned for the next one.